Pac vs. Biggie hurt my soul. Way too early. All because of my bad luck. I thought about reshuffling the list so that they wouldn't meet in the first round. But that would be unfair and biased. So I just left it as it is. Pac and Big are two of my favorite rappers of all time. They are both the greatest to me. Big was the more technically advanced rapper. He had a better vocabulary, better punchlines, wordplay, rhyme chains, schemes, multi-syllabic rhyming, flows, etc. He is the king of subliminal dissing. Battled half of the East Coast and the West Coast simultaneously. I did a documentary on the King of New York rivalries, which you should definitely check out. Big crushed multiple MCs at once. I will do another video on his feud with Pac and show you what these two were capable of. People always say that Big only had 2 albums and that he shouldn't be in the GOAT conversation, which is nonsense. Discrediting the man just because he got killed so early. He was the King of New York while he was alive. Every MC had to go through him to get that title, and nobody really managed to defeat him. We all know that he could easily tear your top 5 rappers to shreds in a battle. His second album was also a double LP, so he technically completed 3 solo albums while he was alive. Not just 2, and those are all up there with the greatest rap albums of all time. He also had the Junior Mafia project out. Worked and appeared on Lil' Kim's Hardcore, also on Puff Daddy's No Way Out. Tons of feature verses on which he always outshined everyone else. Singles, remixes, demo tapes, unreleased songs, and also posthumous albums like Born Again and duets The Final Chapters. Everything this man put out was legendary and became a classic. Ready to Die and Life After Death have more bangers and hits than most rappers have in their entire catalogs. He only dropped quality material while he was alive, to the point where he has less filler songs on each album than most rappers have in their greatest hits albums. He always put quality over quantity. I've been listening to him for over 15 years now, and I can't get tired of it. Unlike the music of most rappers these days. His music is like a time capsule and aged like fine wine. He was one of the first rappers to have a diamond album, while being unable to promote it or do videos for it, aside from Hypnotize of course. And then we have Pac, another icon who loved to challenge and battle every MC. Just like Big, he beefed with like 30 rappers at once. Pac was basically the West Coast version of the King of New York.
Motherfuckers till they feel me. It's West Coast, nigga. Fuck New York. Now that everybody hear me.
He accepted every challenge and also had feuds with rappers on the West Coast. Pac had the passion, energy, delivery, and work ethic on his side. He was also more political, had more introspective and heartfelt lyrics, was also doing songs for his community, made records to empower black women, songs against domestic violence, real-life stories from the hood, growing up without a father, police brutality, racial inequality, gang violence, and he was overall just a more socially conscious rapper. Pac made music that you can feel. He's one of the most relatable rappers ever. And I don't mean relatable in the sense of having witnessed everything he went through, but you can understand and feel every word that he raps. His stories are real, authentic, and straight from the heart. Pac is like a homie that tells you everything he went through in life. He opens up about things that most MCs would never rap about, because they are unable to show weakness. He also put out way more albums and music while he was alive. 5 studio albums, one of which is a double album, also a group album, and then after he passed, they released his work posthumously. The Donk Illuminati 7-Day Theory, which is another classic, 3 more double albums, Are You Still Down, Until the End of Time, and Better Days. The group album Still I Rise, and then Loyal to the Game and Pac's Life. He still has hundreds of songs that never got released. And we're not talking about trash throwaway songs. He has tons of bangers that never made it on an album. I was collecting them at one point, even did a top 100 list for that back in 2017. It's not easy for me to pick one over the other. Biggie had a hard time with them during their beef, cause Pac is a very smart MC. He hits you where it hurts the most. His energy, his direct and in-your-face style, his passion and ability to just make hit after hit every day while dissing all his enemies is second to none. He recorded the classic double album All Eyes on Me in just 2 weeks, along with 10 other songs. And it went diamond, one of the best rap albums of all time. The Donk Illuminati, another multi-platinum classic album, recorded in just 3 days, along with like 10 songs that didn't make the cut. He was a workhorse, that's what every rapper who was with him in the studio will tell you. Most of the time he was just freestyling and didn't really take his time with his lyrics. In his last months he was paranoid and tried to record as much music as possible, cause he knew that he only had a limited amount of time on planet Earth. He even rapped about his imminent death in multiple songs.
Let the world know I plan to die. If I don't leave with what I came for, I'm be denied.
Pac, by most people, is viewed as the greatest rapper of all time because he had a futuristic pen about himself. His pen sometimes wrote the future.
I've been shot and murdered. Can't tell you how it happened word for word, but best believe that
He wrote his death before his death happened. He shot the video for I Ain't Mad At You a week before he got killed. Like, why would you do a video about you getting killed? And then a week later, you get killed.
We only got 2 weeks to do this whole album. Completed.
He knew it. He worked like a fucking racehorse.
We don't have time or the luxury to spend all of this time doing one song. We don't have it. I did my whole album like 3 songs a day.
He was a fucking workhorse, man. That's why he got albums coming out, you know, almost 20 years after his death. He still got fucking songs that ain't been heard.
He'll let him get on the song, him get on the song, him get on the song. As soon as the song go off, he won't even listen to it. Put that shit over there. Pull the next beat up.
Man, get that beat popping. Throw them niggas on the track. You catch everybody freestyling. Throw them niggas on the track. Boom. That's the name of the song is whatever this nigga said his last word was.
Pull another beat up. There's 3 songs this nigga done did in an hour. 3 songs he ain't listened to nan one of them.
Only time I ever like sat back and wrote the rhyme that I was gonna do and if like thought about it like is the same song I did with Digital Underground. Besides that, every other record that came out that Tupac did, I did high and drunk in the studio while they was making the beat.
So it's like, to me, why the fuck was he working so fast and so hard and trying to finish all these records up?
He knew.
He had to know.
He had to hurry up and get all that music out. That's what I heard people say.
That be the song.
And that's another thing. Pac has dozens of songs in which he seemed to predict his death, with lines that fans used to create conspiracy theories about him. He's one of those few artists that people think faked his death. As a kid, I was one of those people who were into all these theories and weird coincidences that people constantly talked about. He became a mysterious figure like Elvis Presley. There are still thousands of people who don't believe that he's actually dead, and Pac's lyrics seem to support all those theories. His death was unable to stop him. He became bigger and put out more music in death than while he was alive, with lyrics that are still relevant and quoted all around the world. And this brings us to the next point, impact. Both of them are worldwide icons, but Pac's legacy and impact is greater in my opinion. Even outside the US, almost everyone has heard about Tupac, even though he has passed almost 26 years ago. He has outgrown music, and I don't mean like Kanye West, through publicity stunts and stupid comments that make the trends every now and then. Just with his talent alone and everything that he represents. And that's why I always tend to put him above Big. But again, I could make arguments on both sides and talk for an hour about this. Love their music and appreciate everything they have done for hip-hop. It kinda hurts to see Big getting eliminated so early. They're both the greatest to me. I wouldn't even care if you had picked them over Pac. But we have a few B-tier rappers that made it even higher. Some of these